Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're with me for the first time, my name is Melissa Reed and I'm a mixed media artist. So what I'm going to do today, if you watched my video last week, I did a t-shirt print of a bison, and I'm going to do one more t-shirt print because they're fun and because I want this t-shirt, so I thought I would take you along for the ride. And if you missed my last video, this will be a good opportunity for you to see this process. If you did miss last week's video, I will put a link at the end screen for you to check that out. So if you've watched some of my other videos, you know that I really love ravens and most birds in general, ravens especially. So I uploaded this image of a raven. I actually altered it. It was the full raven head, and I decided to crop it so that it's kind of coming off of the edge of the paper like that. I got this image off of Unsplash.com, which is a royalty-free site that I use for a lot of my images, those that I don't make myself. And you can use those without any fear of legal repercussions or anything like that. There is a link to that site in my description. And I went ahead and sent this over to my local Office Max to get a laser print made. So this process only works with laser printing. As far as I know, there may be a way to do inkjet, but I haven't figured it out yet. If I do, I will do a video on that for you. So my plan for this is I have a black t-shirt and I'm going to print the bird in white. I'm going to be using my titanium white Liquitex and also my golden GA C900, which is a heat set fabric painting medium. We mix these 1-to-1, heat set it at the end, and then it becomes a shirt. Now I'm not going to just do the bird, I'm going to embellish it a little bit further, and you will see that when we get to that part. But for right now, I'm going to start with my image transfer. So since I'm going to be using a dark background, I want to print this in white. So I'm using my Liquitex Basics Titanium White, and I'm mixing that, as I said, 1-to-1 part with the fabric medium. It's very important to get that mixed extremely well because you don't want to have patches of either just paint or just medium. So then I am spreading some of that on my gel plate. One thing to keep in mind is the fabric medium is a little bit on the thinner side, so you can see how it's beating up just a little bit on the plate. I didn't really find it to be that problematic. I just kept smoothing it out with my brayer, mostly just to get an even coat on, just like I would for any normal image transfer there. I'm setting it on my plate, leaving it on just for a few seconds to pick up the excess paint and allowing the toner to do its job and resist, and leaving the image on the plate there. So I'm also going in just with a wet shop towel to kind of clean up anything. I'm looking there because you can lift up your plate and look at the back to see if there's any paint left on there that you might not want. For this particular, since I'm putting it on a piece of clothing, I really did want a clean print, so nothing in the background, so I took a few extra minutes off camera to make sure that was really clean. Then you saw me in there with a brush. I was just touching up a couple of areas that didn't print the way I wanted them to. So I'm using the exact same print that I laid down on the plate there, since I could still see the design through the white paint. And all I'm doing is taking an X-Acto knife and cutting out the image of the bird there. And what this is doing is kind of creating a template for me to place around that image on the plate so that I can then lay down a pickup color and not have it go everywhere. So I didn't want the pickup color to print just like a giant rectangle in the background like it normally would. I wanted it to be a little closer into the bird. So you can see there, that's what I'm doing. I'm just laying that template down right on top of my gel plate. And there's that gap there because there were some fine feathers and I wasn't really sure what to do with it. So I just cut a little sheet, ripped off a little sheet of tissue paper to lay down there. And I'm just going to be very careful when I'm rolling that paint over there not to pick that up. But even if I did, I could just go ahead and wipe that off of the plate once I pick up this template. So again, this pickup paint here, I mixed 1-to-1 with the fabric medium, and that paint color that I used is Payne's Gray because I thought I had a black t-shirt, but really what I had was a heather gray t-shirt. So that's what we had to work with. That's what we're doing. It'll still work. It's dark enough that the white is going to show up, but I wanted to mix a color that was similar enough to that heather gray shirt that it wasn't going to stand out too much. And there were a few areas you can see there. I'm just touching up that the template didn't quite cover up there, or it, may have slipped a little bit. It doesn't matter. All I'm doing is getting some of the wet paint down there so that when I lay it down on the t-shirt, the image is going to transfer. Now, I had already sort of pre-organized that shirt under there so that I knew where the design was going to go, so it just took a little bit of fixing up there when I lifted everything off of it. So I'm laying the plate down. I'm laying a sheet of paper on top of the plate only because when I lay my weights on it, I didn't want my books to stick to the actual plate. And as you can see there, when I lifted it up, nothing stuck and it was much easier. So this I left for about a half an hour, 45 minutes, just enough to make sure that the image transferred. And there is definitely an image that transferred there. So what I had in mind was a black t-shirt with this white majestic looking raven on it. And that is not what happened. It sort of looks a little more like some kind of a demented pterodactyl. But you know what? I am an intuitive artist, and that basically means that I react to what's happening in front of me. So I thought, well, I'm going to roll with that and switch gears, because that's what we do on this channel. We just roll with it, and sometimes you have to make new decisions in the moment, but that's okay. That's kind of what I like best about this process. So I think you'll be surprised and interested to see what I end up coming up with at the end. So I kind of laughed at this for a little while I was touching some of it up, and then I came up with an idea. So I kept seeing this bird with some sort of a fedora on its head because, you know what, why not? I decided we're going to go full on ridiculous with this. So I just drew out a little shape of a hat there and cut it out to make a stencil. And I mixed up a little bit more of the paint. That's just the titanium white with some of the fabric paint, and I am sponging that on with one of my little sponge brushes there. If you hold the template in place, you do not need to worry about slippage too much. It worked just fine for me. However, I had the thought afterwards that you could definitely do this with contact paper and stick it down to the shirt, and that would work like perfectly. And I actually even have some of that up in my studio, but didn't think about it until I was voiceovering this video. So just thought I would put that out there for you. If you are going to do something like this for any t-shirt making, maybe use some contact paper. That way it will stick down in place. But as you can see there, I didn't use that, and it worked perfectly fine. So I'm just basically going in there to get as much paint as I want on there as the first layer. Now, when I cut out this stencil, I could have definitely done some fine line cutting there and, you know, cut the shadows and everything, the dark parts out. But I decided just to go in at the very end with a Posca pen for a couple of different reasons. Number one, I had one handy, and number two, I wanted to see how well it would hold up since I won't have that mixed with any of the fabric medium. I kind of just want to see how well it's going to launder and, you know, what kind of longevity it's going to have. But I suppose if you wanted to do that, you could probably just pour out a little bit of the fabric medium and go in with a very fine brush and like cover over it with that to kind of make it into the fabric paint substance. I guess I'm really kind of just throwing that out there. I have no idea if it would work, but it seems like it would, and maybe I'll try it sometime because this is all going to be heat set in the end anyway. So I realized that it needed something on the left-hand side there, and for some reason I just kept picturing these ridiculous sardine kind of fish. So I made myself a little fishy template there, and I'm going in with the sponge brush and doing the same type of work there, just getting the image of those fish over to the left of my ridiculous bird because, hey, why not? I am just loving this so much already. And let me tell you, this is such a far cry from the shirt that I thought I was going to be making with this lovely raven. And I was going to actually gel print some of my artificial flowers that I am so fond of doing, which, you know, if you've seen my videos, you will know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, I will put a link to one or two of those at the end of this as well. But as I said, we had to roll with the changes there, and this was just begging for some silly fish because when you've got a demented bird wearing a hat, you know, why wouldn't you give him some fish, I guess. This is probably going to end up being my favorite shirt that I own, by the way, because I just love ridiculous things. But I'm going in there just touching up some areas, and you can see while I was talking before, I went in and was touching up a little bit on the neck of the bird there as well. There are no rules to this. Paint what you want, use whatever tools you have handy. I'm using a combination of the gel plate, some brushes, some sponge painters, And here I'm just going in and adding a tiny little bit of dimension to the hat before I go in and do any of the line work. And I'm using dimension kind of loosely here. Obviously, none of this is supposed to be super realistic, but I did want the hat to have a little bit more of a hat look to it. And you'll see, I think I accomplished that here in just a moment. But this process is a lot of fun. This is now the third video I've done on t-shirt printing, and the whole point of doing so many is just showing you that there are a lot of different ways that you can make this happen. And I know myself as an artist, sometimes I get really bound up in what am I supposed to be doing with this media or with that, how am I supposed to make this? What is the right way? And that's kind of a tricky trap to set for yourself, because as long as you're happy with the outcome, it kind of doesn't matter. So there are a lot of different ways to achieve something, and kind of just figure out what you want the end result to look like, and then get creative and figure out, what is the best way to achieve that. And if that means making little templates for yourself, and I drew these out because I can, but if you don't trust your ability to draw, or you would prefer just not to, print yourself something out and cut out a template of your own, and kind of like the sky's the limit with this. You can make just about anything that you want. Now, because this is I'm doing a lot of this on the gel plate, so it is mono printing. Obviously, you're not going to be able to, create identical multiples of this. I could create the same shirt if I wanted to. It's not going to be, a one-off, or it is going to be a one-off. It's not going to be multiple prints of the same shirt. But I like that about it. It's completely unique, and no one else is going to have anything exactly like this. So that's kind of why I like to do that. And I found my last little black Posca pen there that has any juice left in it, and I'm going in and doing a little bit of the fine line work, just adding a couple of little details on the fish. I did not do anything too crazy, just wanted to put some eyes on there and a couple of little fins. And then I went in, and I'm sure you saw me working a little bit on that hat too, just to make it look a little more hat-like up there, going in and outlining and throwing a shadow or two here and there. Absolutely nothing fancy, and it was never meant to be. It's just supposed to be a fun, silly little picture. Now, once I am all done with all of this wet work, what I'm going to do is take a piece of parchment paper, lay it over the top, and take an iron over medium heat and press it for 3 to 5 minutes. And then I've got a perfectly wearable, launderable shirt. And I think it's funny, and I am going to enjoy wearing this so much. I hope you've got something out of this video and it inspires you to make something fun or silly for yourself. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me here. If you like what I did, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't had a chance yet, hit the subscribe button. I put out a new video every single Friday morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And hit the bell notifications to be reminded that that video is coming out. I appreciate you all so much. Have a great day.